we are working. We're reading the book, The Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard. You guys know that I am absolutely obsessed. I don't know if that's a great word, but I am obsessed with Neville Goddard, and the power of awareness, his teachings, his law of assumption work. I am just obsessed with it, and I'm just spending my time just teaching women about doing this. So, we are in chapter 2. If you guys are brand new, my name is Keysha LaShawn. This channel is all about manifesting with Keysha. It's about how I actually have just changed my concept of my actual self. Really just changed my mind about some of the things I believe in everything. And now I'm actually teaching women how to remember who they are. Okay, so really just letting go of the religious trauma, religious doubt, religious guilt, and all that, right? And really just learning to embody who you are in this world and stuff. And so that's what I'm here to do. All right. So, and I'm the basis of much of the work that I'm here to do is around the law of assumption. Neville Goddard taught this, I think, in the 1930s or whatever. And so I got a hold of this teaching maybe 10 years ago. I'm not even quite sure, you guys, how long it's been at this particular time. But I started and it just made sense to me, right? I mean, literally when I started reading it, it just made so much more sense to me. And so I just kind of really gravitated to it and just started to just dig in. Okay. So I'll be talking definitely more about my story in the description box of these videos. You're going to find how you can work with me. So for those of you guys that want to book a one-on-one session, you'll find that in the comments or whatever that you can do that. I'm on the journey, right? I'm unraveling. And so there's some of you all that you may just be starting to unravel. Some people call it deconstructing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? I just woke up. Okay, really, that's what I like to say. And I'm not a part of the woke community or whatever. I'm not new age. I'm none of that, right? I'm Keysha. Okay. And so that's what I have decided to be. And so I just decided to share my journey with the world, right? And to share with you guys what I've learned. It may resonate with you, it may not. And guess what? Either way, it's completely okay. Okay, whichever way. You do not have to subscribe to anything that I say on this actual YouTube channel. You're a free agent in this world and you get to think for yourself. And that's the beautiful thing about where I am in my life. I don't need anybody to agree or validate or, none of that. Okay, it's none of that for me. Okay, so anyways, okay, so we're into chapter 2, you guys. Okay, so drop a comment if you guys can hear me. Okay, I can see the chat. I may have to look over here at the chat or whatever. But we're in chapter 2 on the power of awareness. Power of awareness. Okay. And I started on Facebook, and just to give you guys some background and stuff like that, I started on Facebook talking about the power of I am. Okay, write that in the chat. I am. The power of I am. And so when you understand the power of I am, no one can actually put anything behind. They can't say I am. The only person that can say I am is you. You're the only person that can say I am. All right. And so when you say I am, whatever you assume to be true, this is why I love the law of assumption, because whatever you assume to be true, right? And I can see Lewis. Hello, Lewis. Whatever you assume to be true, that is going to be true for you. Right? Whatever you put behind I am. So if you said I am poor, okay, then if that's your assumption, if that's what you assume to be true about you, then that is the truth for you, and no one can change that. Only you have the power to change that, right? So I have I'm really obsessed with the I am concept, because it is you. It is really, really you. And I believe that the only healing you need, I don't believe that you need to heal and all that kind of stuff, you guys. I just don't believe it. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I don't care. I don't care if you feel like you need to go on a healing journey. Go on a healing journey, okay? Only thing I believe in is that when I understand and accept the fact that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I remember that I'm created in the image and the likeness of God. I remember who I am. It heals everything. So God cannot be broke. God cannot be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, God cannot identify with lack. And so if you identify with lack, that's who you are. And it's okay. You can change your identity. All right. So that's just what I believe. And like I said, I'm not here to to proselytize or whatever, or get anybody to, think that what I'm saying is now, it's not, okay? Because there's so many people in this world, you get to kind of do what's going to work for you. All right, so chapter 2, so that's kind of a preface of like a background of how did I get here? How did I get here? Now you have to come to your own conclusion on your own, and I just want to share with you all the journey, my particular journey, right, and how I got here, okay? So that's all I want to do here on this actual YouTube channel. So in the description of this video, you're going to find one, working with me if you want to book a one-on-one call, okay? You're going to find that in the description. Also, I have a free 7-day self-reconcept reset, because I believe the only thing you need to do is to reset your self-concept. It's to identify differently about who you are, and it fixes everything in your life, okay? So I have a free 7-day self-concept plan that you'll find in the description as well. If it's not there now, I'll put it there when I'm done with the actual video, and you can grab that for absolutely free, and then you'll also find some other links, things that are on my website if you want to buy something over there, okay? Totally optional, all right? So all that's optional. I don't need anybody to do anything in my life. My bills are always paid. I don't need anybody to buy anything on the internet or do anything on the internet in order for me to live my life. My life is completely taken care of, okay? So that's my assumption. I assume that to be the truth, and that is the truth for me. All right. So chapter 2, consciousness. All right. Last week we did chapter 1, so you can go back and watch chapter 1. Chapter 2 is on consciousness. It is only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions, the manifestations of higher and higher concepts. By manifesting is meant experiencing the results of these concepts in your world. It is of vital importance to understand clearly just what consciousness is, right? The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. So Neville Goddard believes that the consciousness is God. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Okay, God is, and that is it. There's nothing else. All right. So that's what he's talking about. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has of it. Therefore, it is to consciousness you must return. You must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. If we accept the idea of a first cause, it will follow that the evolution of that cause could never result in anything foreign to itself. Nothing is surprising to God, okay? Like, nothing is surprising to God, okay? It's like nothing, you guys, okay? So let's go here. That is, if the first cause substance is light, all its evolutions, fruits, and manifestations would remain light. The first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form or variation of the same thing. So it's like when people talk, I remember like when I was in church remembering about, believing about a devil. Okay. And so it's like, and it's like, well, but if God is all powerful, then what is the devil? How does the devil have any power? Anyways, we don't have to go in there today, but there's only light and dark, higher and lower, all right? And so the first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain conscious. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form or variation of the same thing. God is all there is, you all. Okay? All right. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it also be the only substance. It must also be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. Okay, you guys, I know, and his stuff is a little bit, you gotta read it slow, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta go back, okay? Consequently, you guys, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. It's you. Everything you see, it is you have created it. It's your own consciousness, right? I've been on this whole thing about emotionally unavailable men. And I've been talking to women and telling them, like, the only reason why you see it, why you experience in your consciousness, in your reality, the only reason why you experience in your reality unavailable men, emotionally unavailable men, is because you are emotionally unavailable. So you only draw to yourself what you are. And you could probably find in your world where you actually abandon your own emotions so that other people can feel good. I'll give you guys an example, okay? Because I've decided I'm going to definitely share more of my actual journey, my experiences, so that hopefully it will help you to understand and to really see this more clearly. Okay, so I was dating this guy, okay, and so he was considerably younger than me. All right, so considerably younger than me. Okay, and so I can kind of feel, because I believe that you should trust your intuition, ladies. Ladies, your intuition does not lie. Okay, so and that's your God consciousness. All right, so my intuition just kind of said to me that he really wasn't, like, he probably, I was probably in his roster, which is fine. I don't really, hey, people get to do what they want to do in this world. So I kind of felt like I was a part of his roster. He was really on my roster. I wasn't really like, it wasn't really like, I was like, he was cool. He was great to date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had fun dating him. Okay. And so I decided that I was going to not date him anymore. And so I sent him a text message, and I was just like, hey, I just think that, we're just kind of in different areas in life. I probably was real vague and real people pleasing with the text message, because that's what I am, an overcoming people pleaser. So I'm pretty sure the text message was completely vague, didn't really get the guy exactly why or anything like that. Okay. So recently, okay, he invites me to go out to dinner. I'm like, okay, cool. We haven't gone out to dinner. All right, let's go out and and eat or whatever and stuff. And so at dinner, he asked me. He says, "So why did you want to cut things off with me?" And okay, you guys know you guys don't know, but I've been really seeing this whole abandonment, self-abandonment, abandoning my emotions, abandoning myself, and stuff like that. And so in this moment, he asked me, why did I stop, wanting to date him? And then I said to him, I was like, you know what? You have so much more life to live. This is what I'm saying to this man, okay? As if, like, I'm in the grave or something. I was like, you have so much more life to live, and so it was about our age gap. So he says, well, what are you talking about? He's like, people die in their 30s and stuff. So he's trying to, make this video or whatever, right? Okay. So we in the date or whatever. You guys, I go to bed that night. And I kid you not, I promise you, it's like my consciousness, okay? Like, I was seeing people say about how when you attract emotionally unavailable men because you're emotionally unavailable, right? So when I went to bed that night, you guys, I was like my consciousness almost was like speaking to me and replaying the scene, right? Replaying that whole scenery. And it was like, when he asked me, why did I end with him? I made it all about him. Not about myself, not about the things not what I truly desire in a woman, as a woman, not what I really want, not that I want a man who is retiring, close to retirement, wants to really retire me, if that be the case, right? Or I want a man. I have children, right? So it's like at his age, he has no children. It's like he's not even a good father figure for my children, or like a role model, or anything like that. There are things that I desire, right? I want a man that is emotionally at a stage he's not ready. He's getting ready to change careers in like a couple of years, you guys. And I'm like, I don't want to support a man about to change careers at this time, right? No, there's things that I truly desire that he does not provide for me. Okay? The end. And so instead of me saying that to him and communicating that, I abandoned what I wanted and I made it all about him and where he is in life and all that BS. And it's not BS, honestly, because it's like, hey, But you guys see, like, hopefully the ladies, you guys, hopefully that example helps you to see how we likely will do that with romantic partners, with at our job, right? They'll ask us to do something, and we don't. It's not really. It's like, you know what? No. Go. Can you go to an event, right? So it's an event, and you have things to do after work, right? You had plans and things that you wanted to do, but you what? Abandon yourself, okay, so that other people are happy or other people are pleased. But just I want you to notice in your life. I know I'm definitely starting to do that. I'm definitely starting to notice in my life, where am I abandoning myself so that other people feel good? And that's something that I believe that we're honestly taught. And one of the things I love Sprinkle Sprinkle, okay. And my little sister showed me a video from Sprinkle Sprinkle. She talked about being obsessed with yourself. Listen, be obsessed with yourself. Ladies, be obsessed with yourself. Be obsessed with your routines. Be obsessed with your skincare. Be obsessed with everything about you. Why? Because life will mirror back to you. It'll mirror back to you. So if you're obsessed about yourself, then guess what? You attract people into your world, your experience, your reality that are obsessed about you as well. Because why? You are obsessed about you. This is the law of assumption. We're talking about what we assume to be true. So if you're obsessed about yourself, you can't help but attract people that are obsessed about you too. It's just the law. It's just the way this thing is set up. So just wanted to share that with you all, okay? Because I'm an overcoming people pleaser, okay? Overgiver and all the things, and I'm overcoming that, okay? So if you are too, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. All right, so let's keep going. So consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind must be rejected. We got to read that again, y'all. Okay. Like, oh my gosh. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, is outside, that's nature, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. I'm going to say that again. You and your world are one. So Neville Goddard talked about denying the evidence of your senses. So if you have an assumption about yourself and nature, your circumstances, the circumstances are different from the assumption, you deny the evidence of your senses. You deny it. That is not, you just say no. That's not it. No, I have assumed that this is how my life shall be, and this is how it shall be. I'm going to stand on that. And that's what faith is, you all. That's what faith truly is. That's what faith truly is. Faith is when you believe when everything looks like it's not going to work. Faith is when you still believe. Faith is when you still stand on what you have assumed, even when the evidence, even when the everything outside of you says otherwise. You still stand at no, absolutely not. I believe this. This is the truth. This is what I have assumed. This is my assumptions, and so this is what I shall have. Okay? You and your world are one. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to your subjective center of things, your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. Whew, you guys, this is a small chapter, but when I tell y'all, he is like, I'm an English first language English, and I'm like, I got to read some of this stuff twice. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to your subjective center of things. Your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams, right? In the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work, only your consciousness operating. Only your consciousness operating, y'all. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, your consciousness. Whew, y'all, okay? It's, because it's like, it's really unlearning. And one of the things that I had to really do, just like leaving out of religious construct and really, a whole religious, world, um, is to really start to unlearn some things, unlearning things, right? So, so we're gonna get through this, y'all. Okay. The world moves with motiveless. The world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motives of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. Let's see, y'all, okay? The world moves with motiveless necessity. It's not necessary. It doesn't need a motive. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind. And your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. It only matters what you believe to be true, right? And so it's all there was a book that I read. I think it was like E Squared, back in the day, maybe a couple years ago. And I want to say, no, it actually wasn't E Squared. It was, geez Louise, I can't remember the name of this book. But I remember that in this book, it talked about it really what meaning you attach to things. That's the meaning that it will actually have. So if something happens to you, something happens, whatever meaning you attach to it, you make it good or you make it bad, it's you have to attach the meaning to it, because everybody's going to attach a different meaning to something that happens, right? So that's why I believe here about the motive. The world moves with motiveless necessity, right? Motiveless, okay? So it's all about what you believe and consent to as true. What do you believe? And that's why I always tell my clients, hey, what do you believe about dating, right? What do you believe about things? Because what you believe, your assumptions, your results always match your beliefs. Write that down. Your assumptions always match your beliefs. So whatever you believe, okay, whatever you assume to be true, that's what's going to be true for you. So if you believe that making money is hard, it's going to be hard for you. If you believe that you have to work hard for money, then you have to work hard for money. You have to do what you believe, all right? All right, if you believe all men are dogs and all men, there's no good men left in the world, the dating pool has pee and all this kind of stuff, then that's the truth for you. And nobody can change that, okay? There's no amount of praying and fasting, whatever you want to do, none of that. It's going to change because that's what you believe. That's your assumption. Okay, so the rich man, poor man, beggar man, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its molecules. You guys, that is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was so good. Okay. Listen, the rich man, poor man, beggar man, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, okay, a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its molecules. Hey, Pam, welcome. Okay, all y'all that are jumping on, welcome. Someone's looking for trouble. Okay, listen, don't look for trouble over here because you will find it. Okay, because we believe that you find whatever you're looking for. Okay, I believe you. I assume that for you. All right, and so a single electron revolving in a specified orbit constitutes the unit of magnetism. When a piece of steel or anything else is demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There's only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside or perceptible effect. When particles are arranged at random, mixed up in all directions, the substance is said to be demagnetized. But when particles are marshaled in ranks so that a number of them face in one direction, the substance is a magnet. Magnetism is not generated, it is displayed. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself. Oh my gosh. Okay. Listen, you guys. Oh my God, this is like what I want you to take from here today, okay? Listen. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of self. I firmly believe the only thing to change, the only thing to heal, the only thing to work on is your self-concept. That is the only thing I believe you have to work on. Because whatever you see about yourself, whatever you believe about yourself, your self-concept, whatever you believe about yourself, that is the truth. And so the only thing to change is the concept of yourself. Right? I just don't, I don't believe in shadow work. Like shadow, what? No, accept your shadow. No, the only thing you want to do is accept all the parts of you. Accept all the parts of you, the good parts of you, the bad parts of you, the parts of you learn from being a child, like how you learn how to survive from being a child and the environment that you grew up in. There's some things that you learned in that environment that you need to unlearn. That's it. So people pleasing and overgiving and all of that I learned as a child. And so the only thing I need to do is to accept the concept of myself as being different. I don't need to please other people. I don't need to not tell this man that I don't want to date him because first, he's just not old enough for me, that I don't think that he's financially stable enough to really be a partner for me. Not what I have decided for my life. He's just not a fit. He's not a fit for my world. And so instead of me dancing around, because that's what people pleasers do, right? They dance around things and they say stuff and they want to make sure the other person still feels good after the conversation. It's like, that has nothing to do with me. How he reacts to what I have to say, it has nothing to do with me. Right? It doesn't matter. Oh, he wants me. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, the only thing that matters is for me to be honest and truthful about my own desires and stop self-sacrificing and being a martyr for the world. No. Right? So I believe firmly the only thing I need to heal is my concept of myself. See myself different. See myself made in the image and likeness. Image and likeness of God. Okay, that's in that script that you guys read and stuff, like it's like that's like in that script. Okay, so the importance of this in your daily life should be immediately apparent. The importance of this, you guys, in your daily life should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. That's it. That's it, you guys. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Right? Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. It's all consciousness. It's consciousness, right? And so, as I said, the only thing I think that you people need to work on and heal and whatever is the concept of yourself. How do you see yourself? That is it. And we talked about that. If you don't have the power of awareness, you guys, I highly encourage you, highly recommend. I got it from Half Price Books. I actually got the actual physical copy. The chapters are so short, so you could read it in the morning time before you go to work or whatever. But you get to do whatever you want to do, okay? I'm not here to tell people what to do and when to read, and because it don't even matter. It's not like, oh my goodness, you wake up in the morning, you wake up at 5 a.m. and you read books and you do this and you go exercise and da-da-da-da. Then you're some great, amazing, happy person. No. Okay? If you decide that's what you want to do, then that's what you do. If you decide you want to read in the morning, hey, read in the morning. But it doesn't mean that you're any better than anybody else if you read at night, or you're any less than anyone else if you decide you want to read at night, or you don't want to read at all. Like, how about that? What if I tell you that if you don't want to read at all, you don't have to do any of this stuff to now become something, okay, you guys? I just say, that's just my belief, and I'm sticking to it. So, you guys, listen, I'm here every single Sunday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, turn on the bell notification so when I go live, you're notified. It's different times on Sunday. Depends if I go to the football game, because sometimes I get invited to go to football games and stuff, and sometimes I just do different things in life. So I would love to at some point have a specific time that you guys can meet me here. I'm definitely going to work on that maybe for 2026. But right now, just turn on the notifications. I'll try to make a post on the community tab and stuff, before I go live, maybe an hour before or something like that. We'll do that, but I really do this like when I'm inspired. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like, okay, Keysha, let's go live now. So it's kind of like an inspired thing that I actually do. But you guys, make sure if you watch the replay, drop a comment. What was your biggest takeaway today? If you guys are watching here live, like so far, those of you guys who caught me live, like what's your biggest takeaway? What are you going to take away from here and really use to change your life? Because you are the only one that can do that. I mean, it's all you. Okay, it's all about your concept. It's all about your concept of yourself. It's all about the I am, and that's what chapter 1 talked about. The I am. The I am. Dylan Pringle. Hello. Hi, Dylan. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. Looking for trouble. Must have left. Someone has a comment that's being held for review. Anyone else have something? Holy face. You love. Okay, cool. Someone wants to express their love and stuff. That's really awesome. I'm good. How are you? And so awesome, y'all. Okay. So yeah, awesome sauce. Well, yes, hey, thanks so much for jumping on here today. Watch the replay. I will see you guys on next week. So next Sunday, all throughout the week though, you guys, I'm dropping videos that are showing up in the shorts. So I'll be taking clips from this one, you guys, and actually dropping them in the shorts. So be sure to be on the lookout for those and drop comments and stuff. Share the video out if you got value and you think someone else that will get value as well. Because like I said before, I firmly believe the only thing for you to heal is your concept of yourself, and your life will change. Let me tell you guys, my life has so changed from me just doing this, just understanding or just understanding that that's the only thing I am, right? I have some I ams that I have on my bathroom, right? And then I have I'm safe, I'm worthy, I'm ready, I'm loved, I'm cherished, I'm adored, right? So I have my I am, so I'm wealthy, and so those are my I am. So I deny anything outside of that. So in dating, if a man doesn't adore me, cherish me, you know what I'm saying, worship the ground I walk on. I don't care what you guys say. Hey, I'm obsessed about myself. And so if he's not obsessed about me times 10, it's a no. Right? I mean, it's a no. You know what I'm saying? Like what? It's real simple. It's real simple. Okay. And so, I am wealthy. So I don't ever worry about, where's money going to come from? And oh my God, am I going to be able to pay this? Am I going to be able to take care of this? I don't worry about that. Everything I spend comes back to me 10 times. Everything I spend comes back to me and multiplied times 10. So don't worry about money. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how can you not attract to yourself what you are? Like, I wake up in the morning with ideas about things to just sell. And right, and like I always tell people, it's like, it's the only reason why you have a money problem is because you're not listening to your intuition and you're not executing. And you're afraid of what people will think about you if you start to sell something, because quite honestly, if you want to increase your income, it's about selling something. Period. I mean, you only can work so many hours in a day, so going in another job may not be the option. But you may have a skill, there may be something else inside of you that you could actually offer to the world in exchange for money, right? Get it going. Get it started. Increase your income. Ask yourself, how can I increase my income with what I already know? Right? And so now, my I ams, that's my identity. Right? So I don't worry about anything. Right? I'd be anxious for nothing. Because I am. I am that I am. Whatever it is, I am it. That's just what I believe, right? And my work here, you all, is just to help women honestly remember who they are. So you got to remember that's who you are, right? It's like you come here, things happen, you grow up in families and stuff like that. You kind of forget who you really are. You get lost in translation. That was like a movie, right? You get lost in translation. You get lost. And you start to believe the untruth, right? You start to believe the stories that are told to you about how life is supposed to be, right? So you start to believe that. All right. And then you get to a point where you're like, wait, what? I'm not liking this. I'm not liking how my life is looking. Like, there has to be something different. There has to be a change. Then you run across a YouTube video just like this. And I say to you, that is exactly true. You are absolutely right. You have been fed a bunch of BS all your life. And now it is time for you to unlearn that so you can now live the life of your dreams. And you don't have to wait until you get somewhere else. You don't have to wait until you die. Jesus, okay? Like, who wants to do that? You know, I was like, waiting to get a mansion in heaven is no different than me telling my kids Santa Claus is bringing them gifts. What's the difference? It's like, well, who cares? It's like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Okay? Like, this is not it. Okay? Right? So it's like, no, you can have the life you want now. Now. I'm not into this waiting and bypassing and, oh, wait until you get to the sweet by and by and now you can finally live a good life. What? We are unsubscribing. Okay? Like, unsubscribe. No, thank you. No. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to wait. So I'm living proof of that. You do not have to wait for that. So let's not do that. All right. In the description box, you guys, you're going to find, you want to coach, you want to book a coaching session with me, you want to talk to me, you can do a one-on-one coaching session. You and I, that link will be there. Also have a free 7-day self-concept reset. Okay. It's absolutely free. You can reset your self-concept. 7 days. I got the IAMs for 7 days. You got to do the work. You got to show up and just embody it, right? But that's gonna absolutely free in the description box. The self-concept work is there. And then there's some other things that I actually offer. I teach women how to use faceless pages and AI, right, to make money. As I said, it's a gold mine of money, making money right about now, y'all. Okay, listen, Facebook is paying people to post. I mean, like, it's all kind of ways that you can actually, make money. It just really is. It's you don't even have to show your face. We have AI, like AI videos. I mean, like, there's software that's coming out that can interject you in the video, and like it's completely bananas what's going on right now. So just decide, right? Decide that you're someone that receives money with ease and flow. Right? Make the decision. And then when you make the decision, the cooperative components of this universe will go to work to bring to you what's required for the fulfillment of your desire. That's law. But you have to decide, right? You have to decide. Nothing's going to decide for you. No. No, you have to decide. What do I actually desire? What do I actually want? Communicate that. You know what? This is who I've decided I am. I am wealthy. I am healthy, right? I was listening to a video and the young lady was saying about, like, sometimes we have a hard time with affirmations, or like, saying them, and then sometimes we're like, if you say I am wealthy, then you kind of reject the idea. Sometimes with affirmation you will reject it, right? You can just say I'm someone who is becoming wealthy. I'm someone who is no longer identifying with lack. I am becoming someone who no longer identifies with lack. You can say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you can say, like, if you have a thought, you can be like, you know what, that is my mom's thought. Oh my gosh. Like, if your mom was a penny pincher or something like that, and she wanted to do coupons and everything and stuff, and you have a thought that comes in, like, oh my gosh, that was my mom's thought. That's no longer my thought. I no longer think like that. I'm no longer that woman. I'm no longer that woman who thinks like that. I have a different mind. I have a different thought. Right? I'm becoming someone who no longer identifies with lack. Write that down. I am becoming someone who no longer identifies with lack. Because in order to increase your wealth, you have to disconnect from that lack identity, because that's an identity. That's not the truth, because this is an abundant universe. This is an abundant universe, because God, consciousness, all that there is abundant. So if you are identifying with like the lack of abundance, you're not identifying with your God self. Oh my God. You're not in the likeness. You're not in the image and the likeness of the abundant God, the creator of it all. How can the creator of it all be in lack? It's impossible. But you can be there because you can identify with that. You can say, hey, I can see that people are starving. I can see that, things are going on, right? I can see that my bank account is not where I want it to be and everything. And so you can make that be real. And you can identify with that. And you can say that's the truth. And it'll be the truth for you because that's what you believe. So, all right, y'all. I could go on and on and on. I really, really could. I have so much that has been deposited into me over these years, and it's actually it's kind of sinful that I haven't started talking about this, but I had to do my work, and really get overcoming people pleaser. I tell you guys, right? It's doing what people want you to do, right? Showing up how people want you to show up, afraid, that you're not going to be accepted in your community, and that people are not going to like you anymore because you're not the same Keysha that you were. You're not. You have a different identity, and it's just different, right? And so, so I had to do my work, right? And had to get to a point where I'm like, I'm okay with not being liked, I'm okay. Hey, you don't like me, you don't like what I have to say, you know what? I'm okay with that. It's okay. You don't have to agree. I don't need agreement. It's like I don't need agreement. It's like, and so when you can get to the point, I think they used to say like the closer you get to like being 50 and stuff, like you just start to be like, I don't really care. Like I don't really care what you think about what I have to do. Like, and I think it's because you do start thinking like I got more life. We're pushing here, okay? Like we don't have time to appease people. And what I realized, you guys, is like the people that I was trying to get their approval. I don't even want their life. Oh my gosh. The people I'm concerned about, I don't want their life. I would want to live their life. They couldn't pay me. They couldn't pay me money to be in their lives, to live the life that they live. I would not even accept the money. I'd rather my own life. I'd rather the freedom, the joy, the bliss that I have right now. I would rather that more than any money to be somebody else, to live in somebody else's life. Right? Pam says, I've been telling people no. Yeah, no is a complete sentence. Right? And as people pleasers, overcoming people pleasers, like that's something that we want people to like us, right? So we say yes because we want to be liked. We don't want people to be mad at us. And we want them to accept us, and we want them to see us as a good girl. I've been crushing this. You guys, I've been in this good girl stuff, okay? Good girl. What? We're not good. I'm not a good girl anymore, okay? No, thank you. Okay? I will tell you where to get off. In love. Okay? So, but yeah, good girls, they usually, yeah. We'll talk about that another. Okay, so listen, guys. Next week, chapter 3. So, come back on next week. Next week is the power of assumption. Okay, my favorite. All right. So next week, we're going to be talking about the power of assumption. This is going to go on for about 27 weeks. About 27 weeks. We may have to start doing 2 chapters in a session, but, as much as I talk, we might not need to do that at all. Okay, so. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to share out the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you got value from. And check the description box for all the links. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell notification so when I upload a new video, go live, you're notified. All right, you guys, have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Love y'all. Bye.